This series review, currently streaming on Netflix, has an audience score of 84%. As of now, there are no critic scores. And the series we're going to be discussing is The Way of the House Husband. Spoilers. Happy New Year, guys. As I mentioned before in our last review, end of the year of 2022 review, that we're going to do more anime. It's Adan's favorite genre. Used to be mine. I'm trying to get back into it. And I'm going to say that this series is not the series to get back into.
Well, I would have told you it's not the one to get back into. It's a fun one, but it's not the one to get back into anime.
Let's discuss it. Season 2 just aired.
January 1st.
So, yeah, I watched both seasons. It's a good thing that they're about 15-minute episodes.
Yeah.
I mean, I did like it in some things, in some aspects, but no for others. Okay, since you're a big anime fan, I know you've watched multiple ones, and I know you gave me a list to watch on Crunchyroll.
Mm-hmm.
And there's anime you can watch both on Netflix and on Hulu in a sense of like the same series, but like Netflix has some like One Punch Man. They have it on Netflix, but just in Japanese, where Hulu has it in Japanese and also English dub, as well as other languages. I mean, there's also a live action one.
True.
that is also there as well.
It's also based on a manga.
Right. And I believe that the Japanese actor that voiced for the anime is also starring in the live action one. I could be wrong. I'm not sure about that.
I haven't watched the live action, but I wouldn't doubt it. It wouldn't be a surprise. There's been times when they've had actors, voice actors will be also like actual performers and actors.
The premise is cute in the sense that he's a gangster that gave up that lifestyle to be a husband, like a stay-at-home husband. He loves to cook. He's starting to, like, I guess you say, give back to the community.
Yeah.
I guess he's seeing somewhat of the similarities, if I'm not mistaken, for like how being a house husband and being a gangster. There are some similarities, but of course there are some differences. But there's like people living double lives where they're like in the Yukaza world, they're feared. But then in the community, there's someone else and they're loved or they're revered.
It's funny in the sense that he can't separate his Yakuza life from a regular life, what we would quote unquote say is a regular life. So there's his phrasing in terms is what makes it funny. But you're right. You see that duality there. For example, there was that one episode where you had the mob boss who's like very adamant about his dog, and then also about like volleyball.
Right.
Yeah. And so it's those little things that are really great humor wise, and it's light humor. And even though they're 15-minute episodes, I feel like I think some of them they are like really like 2 episodes in one. So when you look at it that way, it's like 8-minute episodes roughly. Personally, I don't think this is a show for binging. I think it's a show like every now and then you get a taste. Like you tap into it. And then you're good. Because it's not like a consecutive story.
True. And within each episode, you see like chapter 2, chapter 5, chapter blah, blah, blah. It's like as if you are reading a manga book and there's like short stories within each episode.
True.
Like multiple short stories. I did get a kick. Well, no, I didn't. That's not true. I got annoyed because it was just so over the top. And I forgot how some anime the characters can be so over the top with their dialogue or phrasing, what have you, in a way that when he's like trying to defend the honor or trying to make his point across, it's just very over the top. It kind of reminded me a little bit like Full Metal Alchemist, where Elroy, is it Elroy? The one with the ponytail?
I know who you're talking about.
But like he'll just go brothers. But they're like go crazy. Like he'll be like, if he's made fun of because of his height, or they thought the one in the armor was the Full Metal Alchemist because he's in full metal. But he'll just go crazy, like, what do you mean? Blah, 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 blah. And this is how it was here. Would this be over dramatized? And then I was like, oh my God. It's like, calm down, dude. But okay, this is what I did like.
Okay.
Even though it was anime, it was a different type of anime that I'm used to. It felt like a motion comic. It
Yes.
felt like a manga come to life because
Hmm.
there's very little movement. Even when they're talking, their mouths are not moving.
Yeah, it's like still frame with
Right.
minor movements in between.
And that's different than what I've seen before of the animations. Like right now, and you made fun of me during the holidays because I bought those on sale some anime characters like Naruto and from Dragon Ball Z and Demon Slayer, the figurines. They're like, you got these, but you don't even watch anime. I was like, I know.
Specifically, I called you out and said you don't even watch these anime.
Right. But that being said, I started watching Demon Slayer
Oh, did you?
on Netflix. Right. 26 episodes. I'm like, holy crap. So I'm like,
That's season one. They're already on like season 2.5, point 0.5. Point
oh
5
my
is like, well, technically the
God.
point 0.5 you can skip because really that's just the movie expanded, and then
Hmm.
season two.
I mean, I like that. I like what is going. I like the story. It's not over dramatic on certain moments. We'll do a review of that another time. But
True.
I'm just saying, I'm trying to get back into anime, and there is so much, just like there are so much of martial art films and
Hmm.
comedies and things of that nature. And then you have Japan, you have Korea, you have I think Thai has a couple, maybe China
China
has a
definitely
couple,
has anime
few,
that's even on Netflix now. That Chinese animation.
yeah.
Korea
Mhm.
definitely does. I gave you a couple Korean
Right.
suggestions, and Japan for sure. Yeah.
So definitely I'll get my hands tied on that. But that's what I liked was the main part of the motion comics is because Marvel did that at one time. Marvel Comics did motion
Yeah,
comics with X-Men, Wolverine, Black Panther,
like the
maybe
major,
Captain America. Right.
maybe like the
Spider-Man maybe.
yeah. They were it was funny too because I remember you were more into it than I was.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really do anything. It says, oh, they have the still picture moving the mouths, or they do something with the camera, with the depth. It's not like regular animation or anime where you see movement, or like it says, like the Fist of the North Star, or the Animatrix, Dragon Ball Z, or
Oh yeah.
Demon Slayer, like we're doing, talking, that I'm viewing now, things of that nature.
What? But your example of this show is pretty much just that same.
Correct. Where they probably just, hey, let's just do this. Let's just take a picture, make it a show. We'll color it because a lot of mangas, for those who don't know, they're in black and white. So let's color it, put some lines, make it look like he's running or he's slicing really fast, or things of that nature. And again, the talking is very limited in the sense of watching or seeing the lips move.
True.
A lot of times, it got a little more. It got more into that in the second season. I noticed that the moving of the mouth, the lips, got a little bit more into the second season. And again, I mean, you may not want, like you say, you may not want to binge it, but again, it's like 6 episodes, maybe 8, 15 minutes per episode, so you can watch it within like an hour or so.
If you binge it, it's not going to take that long. Like I
No,
honestly haven't watched season 2 yet, but like it's on my list of things to watch. So
right.
I'm interested in seeing like what your feedback was. That's why I was like, cool, he watched it. Oh wow. But I'm also not
Well,
surprised you got through the episodes in such a short amount of time because of that.
well, that being said, since you only seen season one, and I saw season 1 and 2, is this worth the watch?
For me, I'm definitely gonna watch season 2. I don't know
Okay.
how well season 2 was, but for me, it was worth the watch. But I'm
Mhm.
quirky.
For me, no, it's not worth the watch. I tried, and I just
I heard
can't.
it in your voice. I tried.
Yeah, yes, he was like, but why you watch 2 seasons? Because I'm a glutton for punishment.
Well, it was like really, really short. So
And it's really short, right? Because like you can watch it like while you're doing the dishes or something,
I mean,
and something may happen. Like there
most of the
are
humor
some.
comes from the dialogue, I think.
I'm not saying it's all bad. There
Mm.
are some cute moments. There are some funny moments, and some of the stuff is weird. Like there's one where the wife comes home and the house is a wreck. He's all bloody,
Yeah, I remember that.
and this is in the first season.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the hell happened? He just like they found out he's like maybe he's in hiding, and he's still a gangster, and he's just hiding, living a double life. And the thing is, there's a roach. He can't kill a roach,
And it got like the better of him because like he spilled like
right?
a wine bottle on himself or something like that. And
For in the first season anyway, it tricked me thinking that is he's living a dual life or trying to, but he's always like has to defend the house or take care of business before his true identity is found out. But all in all, everyone knows that he's no longer a gangster or he was. And like again, like the people who don't know his gangster life, just know him as this guy, and then the gangster life is like, whoa, wait a minute, he's really done with this.
Which I thought that was arguably the funnier parts, the ones that they realized, like, oh, he's really done. Like the cops, like when he was
Hmm.
going for the store to get flour, he's like, "Where's the white stuff?" And they're like, and he's like carries a suitcase with the flour, and the cops are like, "He's carrying drugs," and they try to like
Right.
pull him over.
And there's also one in the second season. He smells fire in a house, in an apartment, and he's like, "Oh my god!" He's like, "What the hell?" And he goes inside, and he sees that there's a guy barbecuing, and he's an American. He's a black American, and he's like, "What are you doing?" He says, I love Japan so much, but I miss my own food, so I'm just trying to cook my food, but I'm not a barbecue guy like my father." So they try, and they're like getting smoked out in their own apartment, so they have to go outside. And I guess you need a permit to cook outside on the grass, like a barbecue permit. And so the
Mm.
cops come, and he tries to stop them, says, "Run for it, go for it, save yourself," telling the black guy what he's trying to do is like, "Hurry up and eat it." And the guy says, "I can't eat it this rare." But it's like the way it's done is just like over the top, borderline like bad acting, like we saw in live action. It was like
Oh yeah, yeah. No, if
bad
that
act.
I can only imagine the live action if they're doing it verbatim the way that is, it'll be like extremely over the top. And I don't think it would translate. I mean, they did it live action, so I really don't
Mhm.
know if they did like the short episodes or they try to
Right.
make out like story out of
Well, okay. Here's the. Let's say this. Since there's a live action version, I'm not going to see it.
it. That's
I, I
fair.
I I got my fix or my fill with this animation, and I'm sorry, I can't go through it again with the live action. Now you can, and you can tell me later what you thought.
Truthfully, I've known about the live action being out there for a while because it came out
Oh,
like shortly or right around the time that the first season came out. I got what I needed out of the first one.
so all right, guys, that is our series review of The Way of the House Husband. That's a tongue twister. Have you seen it? It's currently streaming on Netflix. Let us know your thoughts on it. Did you like it? Is it a waste of time? Will you see the live action one? And also, if you want us to check out a series, be it on Netflix, Amazon, Apple TV, any of the streaming services, let us know. And we'll check them out and give you our take on it. Until next time, will be the next time. I'm Angel.
I'm Adan.
Love you, bro.
Love you, bro.